The Rain Never Stops by C.W. Boylan. He had not always lived in darkness. That was what his memory insisted now, that the world had always been wrong, always wet and black and rotting outside his window. But he knew better. Once there had been mornings. Once there had been light. Once there had been her. His wife had died the way people always said was natural. Age, disease, the slow arithmetic of time, adding up until nothing was left to subtract. The doctor spoke softly. The priest spoke gently. Everyone told him it was no one's fault. He hated them for that. The rain had started the day of her funeral. He remembered it clearly. He remembered the sky darkening as he drove home alone, the drops striking the windshield harder and harder, as if the clouds themselves were angry. Inside the church, her favorite hymn played from the bells, warm and familiar notes meant to comfort the living. To him, they sounded like goodbye. The storm worsened on the drive home. It only ever seemed to grow stronger after that. In the years that followed, his anger became a wall. His children tried at first, calls unanswered, visits cut short, concerns met by bitterness. Friends drifted away, then neighbors, then the world itself. He shut the curtain and locked the doors and told himself it was safer that way. Outside, something was wrong. The joy had drained from the world. The sky beyond the glass was always dark, always churning with rain and thunder. When he dared to part the curtains and look out, he saw shapes moving, grotesque things, wrong-limbed and crawling through the storm, watching, waiting. He learned not to let himself be seen. The house became his whole universe, and yet, somehow, it never ran out of food. Cabinets refilled themselves. Shelves that should have been bare were not. It should have brought comfort. It should have. Instead, it filled him with unease. Whatever ruled this place seemed determined to keep him alive. At night, the church bells returned, not as they had been, but twisted. Familiar hymns slowed and warped, played in a mocking distortion, as though even joy, when it returned, did so only to mock him. Each peal tightened the fear in his chest. And then, one night, something came inside. He woke to the sound of splintering wood. For a moment, he lay frozen, breath trapped in his throat, listening as something moved through his home. Heavy, clumsily intentional. Cabinets slammed, drawers were torn open. It was searching. Was it searching for him? Panic snapped him into motion. He threw himself from the bed and slammed his body against the bedroom door, pressing his weight into it just as something struck from the other side. The door shuddered but held. He dared not breathe. Had it seen him before? Had it noticed him at the window? Despite all his care, had it tried to get in before? He had always tried to stay hidden, always. From somewhere in the house, a voice called out. Low, gutturally wrong. Come out, wherever you are. It sounded playful almost. His hands shook as he pressed harder against the door. His wife's face flickered in his mind, and for the first time in years, grief cut through the anger. He was glad she was gone, glad she could not see what the world had become. Footsteps grew closer, slower now, more deliberate. Come out, the voice said again, softer this time. Let me talk to you. Then the weight hit the door hard. "If you won't come out," the thing whispered, its voice carrying hunger and threat, "then at least let me in." His muscles burned. The thing on the other side of the door pushed with such force that the frame groaned, wood screaming under strain. He braced himself harder, shoulder pressed into the door, feet slipping as his aged body fought against the strength of this monster it could never match. Every fiber of him shook, his lungs screamed for air. This was it. He could feel it. How close he was to giving in, how little he had left to spend in this last desperate defense. Whatever infernal purpose the creature had for him would be fulfilled the moment the door gave way. Then, suddenly it stopped. The pressure vanished so abruptly that his legs nearly gave out beneath him. He slid down the door, an inch before his forcing himself to stay upright, palms pressed flat against the wood, breath tearing back into his lungs in shallow panic gasps. His heart hammered painfully. His ears rang in the sudden quiet. He didn't move. He didn't dare. Somewhere near the front of the house, another sound rose. Another creature? Unseen, making a monstrous noise that echoed through the walls. The thing that had forced its way inside retreated at once, its movements hurried now, frantic, as if it responding to the other's call. Before it left, it spoke again, not loud, not angry, patient. "You've waited long enough," the voice said. "Your time is almost up." A pause. "If you keep resisting, we'll bring more." Then the house fell silent. Outside, the sun shone warmly on a quiet suburban street. It was a beautiful summer day. A young lady, perhaps his daughter, leaned into her husband, eyes fixed out on the drawn curtains of the house. "I can't let him stay cooped up in there," she said softly. "It's getting worse. We thought that this would pass, but every day it's worse than before. He won't answer the phone. He won't even come out of his room when we're here." Her husband's jaw tightened and nodded. "We've been patient, but if this keeps going, we might have no choice. We might need professional help to get him out, to help him deal with this grief." She swallowed hard, but said nothing. They climbed back into their car, two little boys waiting in the back seat, feet kicking idly, faces turned toward the house. "Is Grandpa all right?" one of them asked. She couldn't answer. "He will be someday," her husband said gently. "We hope." The car pulled away, tires humming softly against the road, sunlight glinting off the windows as it disappeared down the street. Behind them, the house remained still, curtains drawn, doors locked, and inside a man trembling in the dark, convinced he had survived another night in hell, never knowing how close he had come to being saved.